Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday Wake Up.
Wednesday Wake Up.
You weren't with me this morning.
No, I don't know. We haven't figured out exactly how we're saying that.
That's how we're supposed to say it every time.
Welcome to Wednesday Wake Up. Okay.
Wait. Okay. Welcome to Wednesday Wake Up. There we go.
Silly.
Today we're talking about energy healing. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna over the last few weeks, I feel like we've talked about a lot of different things. We missed last week, so if you missed us, here we are. But we talked about moving our bodies. We talked about the power of our minds, and both of those things, and a lot of other things, but they're all related to energy and how it flows through our body, how really our bodies are made up totally of energy.
And keeping our frequency high, and
but I think that's such a foreign to us, because we've been using this stuff for a while. We've been learning about it. It just seems like common sense to say the word frequency and vibration and energy, but I know for most people that is not a normal thing, and maybe you don't even know what that is if you're newish to the site.
When I first took a chakra class, I remember that was like where they started, was that everything is energy. So, the rocks and the water and the sunshine, everything in our world is energy. So we, of course, are energy too. And this is a good little, have just a little blurb I'm going to read that kind of explains how it's all kind of connected, right? Yeah. So how does energy healing work? Energy healing is based on the understanding that human energy field is a dynamic system of powerful influences in a unique relationship to physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. We readily accept that our body functions and is powered by energy. Our heart beats using energy pulses. Our brain and nervous system communicate with our entire body through complex energetic pathways. Our human energy field is constantly reacting to the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of our body. So it's interesting, when I read that, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. Like, in science, we already know that there's so much going on just with energy. And then we kind of stop at that. Just, that's how the heart works. That's how the brain works. That's how nerves work. And then that's as far as we go. So today we're going to go a little further into kind of our journey. And Kim's got some ideas on where to get started to look up certain things.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. Once you start any topic, like I'm sure anyone who's watching this will have this experience, that once you start to learn about anything, whether it's gardening or babies or cars or energy, once you do that first thing, then you start to find other things that are similar, and you're led down a path. And so I actually have no idea where my very first place was. I tried to make like a list of all the different kinds of energy, medicine, energy work that I've, experienced which is a little hard. It actually was a couple pages. But one book that really set me on this path to look at this as like a form of medicine, as a form of therapy, as a way to keep my body healthy and bring it back into health when it falls off, was a book by Donna. And it was all about her path. This is this woman who, she had some illnesses, but she found out through time that she could feel different energy centers in her body, and she knew how to move and focus her energy in a way that she was able to bring herself back to health, and she was able to help other people. And the book has some really very specific hands-on ways, and there are websites. I feel like that's a really great place to totally start if you're interested. Send us Donna Eden, E-D-E-N. And so she's coined her routines as Eden Energy Medicine. And she teamed up, she knew nothing. She didn't know anything about the science. She knew nothing about different modalities.
So she just followed her intuition.
Right, she just followed her intuition. And then she teamed up with her husband, I don't know if he was her husband at the time, who's a psychologist and very well versed in a lot of different medical things as well. And so together she's I just know how it works, and I'm super excited.
Putting the science
and then he puts the other giving people facts and statistics, and here's why this works kind of thing, and all the words to it, because she actually tied together numerous different things from Chinese medicine and like the yogic history and practice, because our bodies, not only are we all energy, we have specific energy centers, which are chakras. So we have, which is one way of talking about it, different energy centers throughout our body. And meridians is that energy runs through our body in all kinds of different channels. And so those are just different ways of looking at the same thing. And there are lots of different cultures and different ways that have talked about it over the years. And so we are so lucky with the internet and with the way that we can communicate today.
Explore them all.
Yeah, we have access to everything. There's no reason really for us to get sick. And I know maybe that's like a huge jump, but we're not there yet. But
no.
if we all knew all this stuff, if we were taking the time to explore how we can take care of our bodies fully, we wouldn't have a reason to get sick. And that just shows me that there's such potential, that we all have the capability of finding our way out of any hole that we get in. And I know, I feel like some people who are really sick might look at me and be like, you don't know my situation. And you're right, I don't. But I also have seen so many case studies and so just history and in my own experience, just in little things of using a simple tapping, EFT is another form of energy medicine. It's the emotional freedom technique where you tap on different points in your body while saying, talking about how you're feeling or what's going on, and talking about accepting yourself. There's a very specific way that you do it. But as you go through that, you can feel a change instantly.
That's crazy.
Doing Qigong is a form of energy medicine, which I talk about a lot. My mom did it with me early on. I was like, you got to try this, Mom. It's great. She had a terrible headache. We went through the 15-minute routine, and at the end, she didn't have a headache. How cool is that? There are just so many different things I feel like we could talk about.
Tiffany said, how about a swollen eyelid? Any suggestions for energy healing?
Tiffany. I don't think, hi Tiffany. Just picking one place to start, and I think one of them is understanding energy medicine to begin with. And so there are so many different resources, but I feel like watching documentaries, or whatever you want to call them, documentaries, just people's experiences were really helpful. So on Amazon Prime, there's a movie called The Healing Field, Exploring Energy and Consciousness. If you have Amazon Prime, I would highly recommend that one, because it talks about how it works, and then at the end it even gives you some hands-on, here, let's try it. So there's some Qigong, there's a form of energy medicine called Healing Touch that I don't think you can necessarily do it there, but it shows you how you can visualize repairing your system. Mm-hmm. That was a really cool one.
Yeah, I was going to say, your question is asking a specific ailment, right? But healing energy, it's really just your mind focusing on what that ailment is, and it's all the same. It's raising your frequency so that your body can heal itself.
Right, but once you know how to channel your energy, once you understand it all, I don't know how much experience you have with energetic stuff in your body, if you want to tell us in the comments. But depending on, once you understand that when you move, in my Qigong practice, what I love is he says it doesn't matter what, there are a lot of different moves you can do. And a lot of people will say, what do I do for a headache? Or what do I do for an ankle issue or whatever? And the teacher that I'm working with, I really love the idea is that it doesn't matter. Do what you really are called to, whatever you feel excited about today. And then there's the time after you do some of these different dynamic poses that you just let your body move, and you learn how to move into it a little bit, and your body knows where it needs to heal. And so that's just one form of, you move your energy by just moving your body in this intentional way, but then you let your body do what it needs to do in order to heal. So that's just one way. The tapping is a whole nother process. So I would really start with watching that movie. I know you're you need a
Tiffany,
right now
she's
thing.
Brand new to any energy stuff.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I feel like that movie is a really great place to start. There's another one on Netflix, but I feel like the Amazon Prime
gives you more.
Gives you more like these are like particular stories, and then you could watch it. And I know for myself, I was able to apply. There was a guided imagery one that maybe you could use where they talked about like thinking about your issue, and then it's like a meditation, like taking time to just sit there, and then you imagine like a special silver thread coming. It doesn't have to be anatomically correct. You don't need to know the biology or anything. You could just sit there and close your eyes. You said a swollen eyelid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could close your eyes and visualize your eyelid and decide that, okay, in order for my swollen eyelid to release, I'm going to have this magical needle that is going to pop whatever you I guess it sounds gross, but whatever, like a special little tickle feather, like it could be anything that's in your mind. You close your eyes and then you imagine this little tickle feather is going to go inside and repair all of whatever is creating that issue. And I know that sounds crazy, it sounds magical, it sounds foo-foo, but try it, because I really, and especially, I mean, belief is a lot. And so if you're trying it, and I'm not speaking specifically to you, Tiffany, but if a person is brand new and they've never done any of this before and they don't actually think it can work and they think it's a bunch of hoo-ha, it's not going to work, because the power of our minds is so intense. So getting yourself to a place where you can be open by watching movies, by reading books, by hearing people's stories. I know for me, and maybe that doesn't work for everybody, but for me, that really helps me to see like,
that it's real. Yeah.
Yeah, that it really could work. And if it can work for that person and those 100 people, why not try it and really believe that it could work?
Mm-hmm. And Kim's talking about all of like different techniques, the Qigong, and there's Reiki, and all the things that it's going to talk about in that documentary. I have not watched it, but I'm going to. I watched one that's on Netflix just called Heal, and that one is more just...
I like the feather, sorry. I guess that was weird.
The needle popping your swollen eyelid down.
I know, but like a silver magical needle,
it.
or like... If there's like, if you have like a broken thing, I think was where I was going, was like, if you had something, you could like sew it together with this thread. I think that's something of what the,
but anyway,
the movie talked about,
the
specific situations.
The movie on Netflix is called Heal, right?
The movie on Netflix is called Heal.
That one doesn't give you very specific like how-tos, so the one on Amazon Prime's better, but the one on Netflix is like stories of people healing really crazy things, and we don't ever think that that's an option, but it goes through their whole journey. I think it follows like 2 specific people. I haven't watched it in like 2 years, so but you can check that out too, just to get it in your mind that it's real, and people do it all over the world. I think they visit different countries where it's actually, that's usually the go-to on fixing yourself, is raising your energy and doing energy healing. But besides all of these like new and different things, we actually can start with energy healing. The most important part is getting into a routine and making it normal to raise your frequency on a, in your daily life, every second of your life. When you raise your frequency, and I was introduced to this with oils, that was my intro into it, and then chakras, and then Kim introduced me to all this other stuff. But really, truly, you feel so much better when you can manage to keep your energy high throughout the day. You don't get sick as much. If you get hurt, you heal so much faster. And it's really just these repetitive exercises that we do that then become part of our routine. So waking up and journaling positive things, pushing aside those negative thoughts that aren't serving you in any way. Surrounding yourself with other high energy people is really, really important. They say that you're most like those with the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And so even surrounding yourself with, sometimes it's necessary because they're family, but you can protect your energy anyway. Surrounding yourself with people that pull your energy down and drain you. And I don't know if you've ever felt that, but maybe you hang out with somebody for a half hour and you have to go take a nap. So they've lowered, maybe you started your day out here with your energy and they were able to bring you down here. So getting into routines of keeping your energy high, maybe not even touching all of those other things yet, but starting with, your own mind and protecting your energy, not allowing others to bring it down, engaging in high energy things all day, use your oils, do the movement, think positive thoughts, enjoy the present moment. That's all going to keep you higher, and in turn you're going to heal faster from everything.
For sure. Yeah, when I think about energy medicine, there's really like two sides to it. There's like the internal, which is what you're talking about, and then the external, which is what I was talking about a little before. And there are where external being where you're getting that healing from something else. So it could be oils, it could be crystals, which I'm totally obsessed with right now. And I know a lot of the world thinks it's foo-foo. Like, I mean, people in my family were like, oh yeah, like those pretty colored stones, or like doing anything
other. But again,
other.
with what you're saying, you have to believe that it works in order for them to work. So sometimes people get crystals and they're like, okay, it didn't do anything. Well, you haven't done any work to believe it. So.
But so oils and crystals and things like Reiki and sound healing, I mean, super cool. Like there's just, I mean, it's a rabbit hole. Once you start to look into all of this stuff, you could just go on and on forever. But then you find what resonates with you. I mean, I watch a lot of webinars or like the master classes that like are introducing you to something else. And I haven't dove into like what the one thing that I really want to focus on, but I think that that's fine because I think I'm figuring out for myself. But I watched one with this guy named Jeffrey Allen a few days ago, and he's like popped up in my like YouTube ads and Facebook things numerous times, but this one was so cool. I mean, Jeffrey Allen is his name, and he just had you, he like went through a whole series. I was gonna actually send you the master class because it's super cool. Like I want to do it again. I don't know if you can do it again because it's like a lead in to like get their paid thing. But he had you like stretch out your hands, which you're moving the chakras in your hands, and chakras are your energy centers. So you're getting your hands going, and you can try this right now. And sometimes I've heard people do this where you rub your hands together. So you could either do that, or he just had you do this, and then he had you close your eyes and just imagine like a white light coming down from above into your hands. So you're just filling your hands with energy. And then put your hands kind of, put them close. You can spread them out a little bit and do this with me. Like you can feel it. Get your chakras going. This was not planned, just being spontaneous. But I mean, it's so cool. And then put your hands kind of close. And it may take a little bit for you to feel it. Can you feel like a really subtle closer? Bring them like as if they were like touching almost, and then just bring them apart, separate, just a little bit, and you can start to feel a tingling, or like almost like you're holding a little ball of energy.
I feel like a resistance. A little bit,
like a little resistance. It's going to feel a little different for everybody. And as you're like figuring it, another way you can do it is to like really rub your hands, which you're moving the energy as well, and then starting with your hands close, just bring them apart a little bit, and you can feel the energy there. Keeping your eyes closed, you can like start to play with the energy. Give yourself a little time. But he went through this whole process, and then using this energy, to like move to like a part of your body. And I mean, he had you go through some different mental things of like a goal that you really wanted, and like what the feeling was, why you couldn't have the goal, and where you felt it in your body, and then you put that ball of energy there, and like I'm telling you, like my lower back was like dissolved in the moment. And I don't care if you think that it's foo-foo or that it's placebo, because if it worked to make my pain go away or whatever, like it doesn't really matter what it is. So
I mean, if you go back to the science medical world, I think it's like 80% of placebo effects. Like they do that in trials, and people get better because they truly believe. So they're actually proving that it works, that your mind is so powerful, and all of these different things moving our energy around our body truly work.
Yeah, I think placebo is just really a word for energy medicine. Yeah, I don't know if I ever read that, but that's what it is.
It means you're not putting drugs into your body.
Mind.
You're using your own body and mind and energies to heal yourself, and it's real, and it's so cool.
So there's those two sides that you can like go external, and you can use different things to help you. You can have a Reiki practitioner work on you and do body work. You can go lie on a table and have somebody work on you, or you can be doing a sound healing, a sound bath, and those things can all help. But we are all capable of doing it ourselves. And then there are those things that you can just do on a daily basis, from moving. The person I talked about in the beginning has a 5-minute energy routine that I feel like is also a really good place to start. So I'd say the Amazon movie.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, her website. There's lots of different places for free. So
Donna Eden.
yeah, we'll post that, and we'll post the link for the Amazon movie and the Netflix movie. Just we don't want to bombard you with stuff, but as you get more
we probably
interested,
have like 100 more stories, but I think we're good.
Yeah,
for right
as
now,
you get started and you're interested, though, reach out to us and we'll feed you more, and you're going to start to find them yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5-minute energy routine in the morning, I started doing that last year, and it was great. I mean, I made a few different YouTube videos, or on my Facebook, of just like marching in place in the morning and tapping on certain places on your body that really just wake you up, and you start the day differently, and the rest of the day flows differently, and it feels.
Yeah, I have to look at the 5-minute energy thing too.
Yeah, I think it's like grown a little bit now. It's more like 10 minutes, but I mean, you can do whatever you do. And in the beginning, I was having trouble. Like, do I do Qigong or do I do the Eden energy medicine? But now, like, I really like the Eden because it's really fast. My eyes can be open. It's not like I'm not getting into a meditative state. I'm just kind of doing it as I'm like, I don't know. Not as I'm doing other things, but it's like
but you
faster.
do your morning, yeah.
Yeah, I can do a little bit. I can go to the bathroom. It's not like, and then I do my Qigong a little bit later in the day, and it just has been fantastic.
So look into energy healing, watch those documentaries, keep your energies high by surrounding yourself with wonderful people, and your thoughts and your words are really important for your own energy. So keep positive words, positive thoughts.
Yes. Everything that we've talked about on Wednesday Wake Up, I mean, everything is energy.
Yeah.
So everything that...
It all ties back into this, but this is more reaching deeper levels, but realizing how important keeping those energies high are.
Yeah, this is the foundation. So I hope your eyelid feels better, Tiffany.
Yes.
And yeah, use the
With
feather.
Okay.
Bye. Have a great day, everybody. Later.
Yep.